Hello, today we are talking about a skill that allows agents to generate Snowflake semantic views. To be able to give a bit more of a context, we will be talking about 3 points. Why and where of Snowflake semantic views. I will just show you a diagram of how your data platform may look like and where semantic views are located. Then what is a skill for agents, just a basic overview of what it is, and then of my demo of my skill for generating Snowflake semantic views. Let's do it. Okay, this is part one, semantic views, why and where. So your data platform may look like this. On the left here, you have your source system where you get your data, could be ERPs, for example, SAP, CRM, Salesforce, whatever you deal with, that's your source data. Then the data flows into Snowflake. That can be your data platform. And then you have done the real and hard work here. You have modeled your data using whatever you prefer, Data Vault, Inmon, Kimball, etc. At some point, all that data has to be put in a format that is easy to consume. And that's called usually your presentation or consumption layer. And it's usually a star schema, facts with dimensions. And then you have your classic BI tools that connect here, and you do your reports and dashboards and that kind of stuff. Now that agents are so common, Snowflake has released something that is called Snowflake Intelligence, that basically is, let's call it a chatbot that can query your database, your Snowflake database. To make that querying smarter and more efficient, they have created something called semantic views that are just views that represent a star schema. Creating these semantics views has, I think, two interesting characteristics. One is synonyms and comments. So imagine that the Snowflake intelligence agent that you have will respond your answers related to your structured data here. So if you ask, which is the material most sold, if in your semantic view you have not specified that material is the same as product, maybe it won't know what's the answer. Or if you say, what are my stores, where are my best-selling stores located, and you have not tell that store is equivalent to plants, then maybe the agent won't reply. So all the metadata, that means the data about your data, all the comments, all the synonyms and that kind of stuff is very important for the semantic views. And the skill that I have created helps you create that. Here I'm showing a semantic view that was created by my skill. And you can see that you can, of course, create this by hand. But the interesting part is that you have, for example, for the line item, you have synonyms like items on order lines. You have customers or customers master. For supplier, you can call them suppliers, or vendor. For nations, you can call it nation on countries and that kind of stuff. And then here it puts, for example, tax applied to the line, order total, all this metadata that it can be fetched from the Snowflake tables if you put comments there, or from the general knowledge of an LLM, are very important for the Snowflake intelligence. So something like that will be the result of what you can create with my skill. So basically, instead of typing all these things automatically, you have here a starting point, and you can tell then the LLM to enhance it further. check the URL, this is where you can find the definitions of the open standard called agent skill. As you can read here, is a simple, and that's very true. You will see that it's extremely simple. So I really encourage you to create new ones for your own use and share them if you think they are worth it, for giving agents new capabilities and expertise. They are folders of instructions, script, and resources. So when I was creating semantic views with agents or LLMs, the issue that I came across most of the time was that there was always a syntax error. So I had to copy what the agent generated, put it into Snowflake, run to find out that there was a syntax error and that kind of stuff. So in my skill that you can see here, this is my repository, and then you go to codex skill. This is the definition of the skill, where you can see that it's just enables a new skill to create or alter a semantic view. The interesting part is that I gave the agent the hints of all the Snowflake documentation and also tell it to use the Snowflake CLI so it can check and validate if there is any syntax error, so it can iterate and don't bother you until it gets a working result. Also, it can query the different tables to verify if the theory, for example, for which fields it will do the joins or see some sample values, for example, to see if what is the content of a column and that kind of stuff. So using the CLI, it can query the Snowflake database and get all those information. And also, of course, it can get all the metadata that you have put as comment there. So it's really nice to see that how it works together. And that will be part 3. See you there. Hello, and welcome to the third and final part. Finally, some action. So here I have cloned my repo. I have opened it in Visual Studio Code. Then I click on the Codex plugin, and then I ask for something. Of course, I want to create a semantic view based on these tables that are always available. How I will do this, if it's taking too long, I will just pause the video and then continue. So let's see how it goes with this. You see that it's using the skill, so that's a good sign. And here it shows using the skill because it's a build request, target database schema roles and warehouse. So I can easily say target database schema control.public. What else? Okay, I have this role. Account admin. Don't try this at home. Warehouse was called compute warehouse. Demo Christmas. Is installed and connection is Google. Read and data and missing tables. All right, let's see how this goes. All right, so we can see that I pull metadata and relationships, da 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 da. It's asking me also a question. I will read it a bit later, but I wanted to show you here in Snowflake all the queries that it sent to Snowflake. So you can see that it created a temporary semantic view to validate something, then it show all tables that are called nation. It's trying to join and see if the join works. So it did a really nice job. So to make sure that everything that it's being generated makes some sense. Let's go back and see here. So the conclusion is so I should include the missing bridge tables. Yes, okay, to include those missing tables. I need approval to draft for tables from inside. Do you want me to draft them? Please draft comments and names. And now we can just let it work a bit more. Okay, now it has done something. So we can see here that it tried to create the semantic view. And then it failed, but now it says that now the semantic view is here. And as you can see here, it has all the comments and alias and stuff. Nice metrics and that kind of stuff. But what for me it's more interesting is to come and see what happened in Snowflake. So here, let me move this a bit. So maybe here to see the time, that's why I move it. Here it fails at 342. So in this query, it tried to create a semantic view and it had a syntax error. But since in the skill we have told it that it can create, so then it started again. Then here you see it was successful, and it was 46, and this was 42. So it took like 4 minutes until it could fix the semantic view. And this, you see, it's using a temporary name to validate. Then when it had the final one, it now it is created with the name I requested, and then it tried to do some, but it made some mistakes, and then at the end, it could run 2 queries against the semantic view. So all in all, now we have a semantic view that works with nice synonyms and stuff. So I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to extend and contribute to this repository so we have a really nice skill for creating our semantic views. Thanks for watching.